back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Deep Impact Podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Mr. Bo Walker, and I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Jason Cephas, and making his valiant return to the Deep Impact Podcast
in video form.
With him in video form,
Yeah,
Mr. James Piazza.
Yay, go James.
So, James, what are you drinking there?
Jack and Coke.
Yellowstone bourbon. Cheers. It's been a while, my friend.
Cheers, boy.
Jason, get your water up here, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we are back, and we have some hockey talk, which we covered in our last episode, and we also have something that is very near and dear to my heart. Can we start with this? Can we start with this?
Yeah, because that's
all right.
It's big news. I'm not even I don't follow golf, but like I just know that it's a big deal just because I have a lot of friends that do golf. So take it away,
ladies and gentlemen. The PGA Tour, the DP Tour, and LIV Golf are all merging.
What the hell is the BP Tour?
Honestly, James, I couldn't tell you. I've never heard of this tour before in my life. All right. I know it's not like the Corn Ferry Tour or whatever like that, but I don't even know what it is. But they're all joining together under one roof. So there was a meeting held today in Toronto, Canada, okay, which is the site of the RBC Canadian Open that is going on this weekend. Meeting with with the heads of LIV Tour, DP, and PGA Tour, and they decided that they're going to join forces to create one big golf league, which is it's better for the sport in my opinion because LIV Tour and the PGA Tour have been butting heads for almost 2 years. They've been going at it for almost 2 years. You saw the likes of Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson. Honestly, those two right there are two of the biggest names in golf that left the PGA Tour to go over there and make.
Didn't either Rory McIlroy or Bryson DeChambeau go? One of those two.
Bryson went. Rory did not. Rory turned down.
I knew one of them went. One of them didn't.
Yeah, Rory turned down I'm trying to think. What was it? It was like 9 figures. It was like $500 million or something ridiculous. It was ridiculous money for him to go over there. You know what? Let's find out. Let's Google real quick how much Phil Mickelson was making on LIV Tour.
So okay, so you know how you just described that, Bo?
Yeah.
You made it sound like the Monday Night Wars, WCW and WWE.
Honestly, it's what it was.
Gosh, here we go. The
drama.
Now golf has to take over for wrestling.
No.
Yeah.
The only wrestling,
I'm kidding. That wasn't a not talk about wrestling thing. It was like even golf is so fucking boring that it has to go. Wrestling drama.
But like seriously, it like the way you described it, that's the first thing that popped into my head was the Monday Night Wars. Like
yeah.
So I think hey, it worked for pro wrestling, so
yeah,
maybe work for golf.
Phil Mickelson left the PGA Tour for $200 million up front before any winnings on the tour. There was a rumor that LIV Tour offered Tiger Woods upward of $800 million.
I did see that. I saw that earlier today.
Now, I don't know if you know what the LIV Tour is, James. It was a golf tour
Saudi.
that was backed by Saudi Arabia. Yes.
Yeah.
So
I've heard people talk about it. Never watched a single golf event in my life, but yeah.
I was not a big fan of it. I was not a huge fan of it. But there was a lot of tension between them.
Well, it did help the golfers get paid universally, though, not just in LIV. And that's one of the things that Phil Mickelson was saying, according to somebody I was listening to. He was saying that, like, oh yeah, funny how the PGA just like really, really increased their jackpots once all their talent went over to LIV. Like, it's like they could not have done this all along, could they? And it's like, yeah, it's the answer is they just didn't pad their pockets as much, and they finally had to pay their golfers for once.
Yes. So what they're saying is that the LIV Tour was struggling to get sponsors.
Sure.
And the PGA Tour couldn't turn down the money that they were offering to merge. I haven't seen any amount of money yet, but long story short, these golfers are going to be back in the PGA Tour. It's gonna still be called the PGA Tour, but it's gonna be under a different entity,
like the NFL AFL merger, except
yes,
not under the jurisdiction of the NFL.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah, if it's under a different entity, yeah.
Yes, but the LIV golfers were originally still able to golf in the 4 major championships of the year. You know, the Masters, the Open, the U.S. Open, and PGA Championship. They were still able to golf in those.
Yeah.
Because they were USGA events, not PGA events.
Oh, interesting.
But most of the golfers, you know how the golfers on the PGA Tour found out about it? The same way the rest of us did, on Twitter.
I was going to say, yeah, they weren't told about it. I heard even Tiger Woods was left in the dark, which is like a big no-no.
Rory McIlroy is on the players board of the PGA Tour,
and found out about it on Twitter.
Yes.
Well, then how did the first person on Twitter find out about it?
Because it was when the merge happened, ESPN was able to get the information. PGA Tour, all of the news outlets.
Oh wow!
Put the information
so
out. Yes.
Yeah, so ESPN put the information out, and everybody else reported on it, but they didn't have any contact directly with the players.
Yes.
Could you imagine being in that fucking situation? Like
that would suck.
Yeah, not knowing what's going on with your job.
There's kind of similar to like when a player gets traded, and sometimes they find out through social media. Like, I think that's
cruel because they gotta move, they gotta relocate their family. Yeah.
So like some of these golfers, so I don't know if you guys paid attention most recently. They had the Memorial Tournament, which was at Muirfield Village in Dublin, Ohio. It was a big tournament. They have it every year. But Victor Hovland won it. Okay. He won on Sunday. On Monday was the US Open qualifying. Okay. And it's called the longest day in golf because it is 36 holes. You play 18 holes, you eat, you play 18 more holes.
Damn. How long does that take?
All day. Victor Hovland, and they have it wherever they have it at Muirfield Village. That's where the qualifying is. Victor Hovland won Muirfield Village. He won. He won. What the hell was the name of the freaking tournament? I just said it.
The Memorial Day.
The Memorial. He won the Memorial Tournament, and then he went and caddied for his former college teammate.
I did see that. Yeah,
he caddied 36 holes. Well, Colin Morikawa tweeted this morning, says, "I love finding out morning news on Twitter," and then proceeded to say, "And everyone thought yesterday was the longest day in golf."
Jeez.
Dude, it's going to be it's not taking place until next season, but I don't know. I'm kind of excited for it because now they're going to be getting more. PGA is going to be getting more money to make these events bigger, make everything like that.
So, do you think
that much better?
Do you think with it not starting until next year, do you think there's some guys who just refuse to do it because of no?
Because when it comes to golf, the PGA Tour is the mecca. PGA Tour is where you want to be.
Yeah.
You're working your entire career to get to the PGA Tour.
Minus the money.
Yes, you're working your entire year. Honestly, it's just a prestige of having your pro card and being able to play on the PGA Tour. That's what these golfers are, going towards. And the ones that left kind of have they got a smudge or a check mark asterisk next to their name. Brooks Koepka just won the PGA Championship, and he's coming back. it's gonna be interesting to see how all of these golfers are paired together coming next year. But it's an exciting time for golf. I mean, we're getting more golf instead of just PGA Tour events, LIV Tour, and DP World Tour events. They can golf. They're going to be all of their events are going to be the same. Yeah. So like PGA Tour, the PGA has already golfed in Saudi Arabia. They've already golfed in Abu Dhabi, but now these LIV Tour exclusive events, PGA Tour exclusive events are going to be open to everybody. So great time for golf. Great time for being a fan of golf. Makes me want to go buy a new set of clubs and
you want to do it?
Go. Well, James, I'm actually in the process of looking, so I will.
Hey, there you go.
Almost bought a $500 putter the other day.
One club, $500 for one club.
Dude, the driver I'm looking at is $600. The TaylorMade Stealth 2. It's a Scotty Cameron putter is the one I'm looking at.
A lot of food that I could buy with $600.
Yeah, but there's a lot of golf balls that I can lose with like $2,000. That's funny. I mean, I lost 3 today.
Bad as me.
All I'm saying is, if you do eventually buy these new clubs,
yeah,
I better not hear you complain once that you hate them.
Yeah,
because if you do, I might have to punch you.
No, I would never do that, Jason. What are you talking about?
I beg to differ.
Hey, shut it. But enough about golf. Jason.
Yes.
Hockey talk.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So last episode, we previewed the Stanley Cup Final between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Florida Panthers. And
boy, was I wrong.
Huh?
I said, and boy, was I wrong so far.
Yeah, a lot of people were. Because we're 2 games in, and the 2 games did not go as people thought they would. So Vegas is up 2-0 in the series as we are recording this Tuesday night. Hopefully we get it up, or hopefully I get it up Thursday.
Yeah, hey, Jason, that's a personal problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you mean we?
Yeah, I know. Hopefully I get it up before Thursday.
There he goes again.
And game 3.
Set him up for that one.
But yeah, Vegas won game 1 5-2, and
they did.
game 2 they won 7-2. So
they were rolling. They were both in Vegas. I think Florida's finally they've got to, by the time that they play at home, they've got to wake up, or there's no way that they stand a chance.
So here's the thing. So James, before we started recording, you had mentioned them being off for so long because they swept Carolina in the conference finals. So they had a bit of an extended break before the Cup final. Something that I've heard a couple times being thrown out is the start time in Vegas is 5:00. So 8:00 here, 5:00 in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And 5:00 games usually don't ever happen. You see, 1:00, 1:30, 3:00, noon, 4:00 sometimes. Never do you see a 5:00 start.
Like a local time where the game's being played, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And I have to think that had to play a role into it because because hockey players and athletes in general are such creatures of habit. Like, you have a game day routine and you set that every game day. When that start time is thrown off, that throws off your entire schedule.
Yeah, but the thing is, I would think the internal clock for where your time zone is would play more into it than where you're traveling to. You know what I mean? Not that it would play anything into it, but I feel like if that's just because it is actually 5:00 to you does not mean that it does not feel like 8:00 because that's where you live and play.
And that's fair. Like I said, I'm just speculating. Like,
I have no idea like what the analytics say about any of that stuff. I haven't looked that far into it.
Because Florida has really not looked like the Florida Panthers that we saw go through the gauntlet of teams that we went through.
Yeah, but then again, the first series they kind of did when they played Boston, and I know Boston was a much different team, but like they did not look good until they ended up winning that first game at home, and then it was like, and then they lost the fourth game, and it was like, oh boy, they're down 3-1, and they came back and won, stomped Toronto 5-1, and had a long break, and then they swept Carolina. I mean, I don't know. I really think rust plays a lot into it, especially like two
Rust isn't playing.
That's shut up. That's something that
trade him.
I can't remember what year it was. It was a couple of years ago in the playoffs, but it was like the first round. There was a team that swept their first round series, and then had that big long break, and then they got swept in the second round. And then the same thing happened to the team that swept them in the second round. They got swept in the conference final. So
it's almost like sweeps aren't to your advantage, which is like they are to a degree, but like you almost want to have like a 5, possibly an easy 6-game series if you can have it. Like you want all of your series to go 5 or 6.
Yeah. And it's not like you're in, it's not like you're in Toronto. Like, they're in Florida.
Yeah.
They have an extended break. They're in Florida. There's multiple things to do that can take your mind off of, the task at hand.
Strip clubs.
Yeah. Vegas too.
Yeah, Vegas too.
Yeah.
You're gonna bring that example.
But like, I know there have been like teams in the past who have gone as far as making their players stay at hotels when they're at home, so they only focus on hockey. They don't get to sleep at home. They stay at a hotel. So like that's how I don't want to say stingy, but that's how like locked in these guys are.
Yeah.
They're willing to do that and be away from their families. And I don't know Florida's situation. I don't know if that's what they do. I don't know if that's what they did. I don't know. But definitely not the results that we were expecting. I do think they are going to have a little bit more pep in their step coming home, just because you don't want to get embarrassed on home ice. You just don't.
No.
And
I'm gonna. Can I make an expert opinion?
Huh?
Can I make an expert opinion?
Yeah.
If they lose this next game, it's over.
Well,
I'm just saying, if they lose the first game at home, they're not coming back from it.
Well, the thing is like only one team in Stanley Cup Finals history has ever come down 3-0. So that's not really a hot take.
Who was it?
I don't know. It was in 1940, though. I just watched the hockey guy do a video on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's only ever happened 4 times in playoff history where a team's come down 3-0.
Yep.
Come down from 3-0. One of them was against the Penguins.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, so
okay. Sorry to.
I don't care. Game 3 is Thursday, and Vegas established home ice. Florida's got to do the same thing. And I because it's weird, because the MO of this Panthers team was they're going to punch you in the face and there's nothing you can do about it. And that was one of the things that we had talked about in the last episode, was how was Vegas going to respond with that? Vegas is so disciplined.
Yeah.
Like, Nick Hague in game 1 got punched 5 times in the face by Matthew Tkachuk, and he stood there the entire time and laughed.
Jeez.
Like, that's like that type of discipline. Not the discipline in like, oh, you shouldn't take that penalty. No, the discipline of just taking it and just immediately just shoving it right back into their face.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling that Vegas was going to do that because I watched, I watched all the games when they played Dallas. Obviously, I was for Dallas, so obviously I watched them, and that was the one thing that jumped out to me was just how disciplined Vegas really is. I think they're the more veteran team. They're the more experienced team. Jonathan Marchessault is on a absolute heater right now.
He's the favorite to win the Conn Smythe.
He is now, yes.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Even though
I didn't see game 2, but
even though I would argue that and say Aiden Hill should be number one.
So real quick,
really good.
So the top 3 to win the Conn Smythe at minus 105 is Jonathan Marchessault, plus 425 Jack Eichel, and plus 500 is Aiden Hill.
Man, Aiden Hill has been a
rock solid
in these first 2 games. Did you guys see the paddle save that he made in game 1?
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to bring up, I was going to say, my only comment about this like hockey segment is going to be that was probably the craziest save that I've ever seen. I mean, because of, especially it being in the finals, like there's no bigger time to make that. The way his body was moving, he was totally faked and realized it, and he knew his momentum was going. All he had control of was that one arm, and he had one chance, and he focused enough to be able to, and had a lot of luck that it didn't bounce, but he was able to stop it. Like, that's just insane.
Some would say he had one shot and one opportunity.
I don't know what that reference is.
Eminem, Lose Yourself. One shot, one opportunity.
Yeah, I've never listened to Eminem.
Wanted.
But yeah.
To be fair, I do know the song title, but I've probably never heard the song.
You absolutely have, James, because I've played it in the car with you.
That doesn't mean I know the song.
I thought I had a good reference there.
I'm sure you did to anybody else.
It was good enough that I'll leave it in. But
do we know if Jack Eichel's did he come back into game 2 or is he?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
Oh yeah. So you saw the hit.
Oh, absolutely.
Chuck laid on him.
He got his shit rocked.
Oh my god. James, have you seen it yet?
I didn't watch anything in game 2. I just saw that Vegas won 7-2.
Oh my god.
It was 7-2?
That was the final score of game 2.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. But again, we have to talk about that hit. Because Matthew Tkachuk sent Jack Eichel to a different universe with that hit.
Dude, he sent him to the shadow realm.
Oh my god.
His soul is
I like that reference better than Lose Yourself reference. So.
Dude, his soul is still skating around on the ice out there.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, he came back.
You ever seen Doctor Strange when that woman like punches him and his spirit comes out?
I've not.
That's what happened to Jack Eichel.
Like, and like they showed him skating to the bench, and like you could just see him like struggling to breathe.
Yeah,
he said after the game that he just got the wind knocked out of him.
And, fair.
I mean, like, Eddie Olczyk made a very good point. Jack Eichel has that history of the neck surgery, which led to him getting traded out of Buffalo. So
was it that, or was it the fact that he didn't want to be in Buffalo?
I mean, he had the surgery. Like he wanted the surgery. Buffalo didn't. So, I mean, I'm assuming, he obviously wanted out of Buffalo prior to that, but that was kind of just like the final nail in the coffin. But yeah, and that was a lot of people's first reaction was, oh, I hope he's not seriously hurt because, I mean, he got throttled, like helmet flying. I thought he, like looking back at it, I thought he hit the back of his head off the ice.
I did too. James, go watch it.
Yeah. It's oh my god. But yeah, I thought he hit the back of his head off the ice, and that was my first thought, and that was that like you never want to see that. That's terrifying. But knowing that he did just get the wind knocked out of him, like the slow motion video of the hit, like it's a clean hit. It's not a dirty hit. Yuck. It's clean hit. It's shoulder to shoulder, but you can see Eichel's shoulder just like come into his body and just like stay there for a couple seconds.
Oh my!
And then he starts going backwards.
And it was
just like that was one of the most monstrous hits. And the thing was with Eichel was right before the hit, he kind of toe picked, and so he was kind of going like this towards Tkachuk. And had he just been standing there, I don't think it would have been as violent of a hit. It still would have been a big hit.
He was leaning into it.
Yeah, the fact that he was kind of leaned into it a little bit because he did kind of toe pick there, like, oh man, oh my god, that was a incredible hit. Like, that has to go down. That has to go down as one of the hardest hits in NHL history.
Jeez,
it has to be. Like, it is phenomenal to watch. Knowing that he's okay, we can say
I'm excited. Yeah, you don't have to worry about injury. Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was wow. But he was okay. He came back, and thankfully he just got the wind knocked out of him, and it wasn't anything serious. So moving on, Thursday night, 8:00, TNT, Game 3, Golden Knights and Panthers from Sunrise.
Panthers
are probably going to lose.
Yeah, probably, but I hope not.
I don't know.
Vegas is the favorite at minus 550. Florida's plus
minus 550, or for the whole series.
This is for the whole series.
Oh, okay. Well, duh, that makes sense. I thought you meant for Game 3. I was like, holy shit! I might actually bet.
Let me see if I can find individual games real quick.
You gotta. So here's my thing with Florida coming home. This is their first Stanley Cup Final game in Florida since '96. That place is going to be bananas.
Okay, I found the game, by the way.
I don't know if it's going to be as loud as it and crazy as it was in Vegas, because Vegas is just on a different level. Like, Vegas is on a different level. I was watching a podcast, and one of the guys was at Game 1, and he said he lost his voice because he had to, like, basically scream at his friend sitting right next to him, because that's how loud it was in the building at all times. Like,
it's just crazy how a small market fan base like that was able to build such a crazy and big and loyal fan base in like 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, I mean, you have the Golden Knights, you have the Raiders now. You're going to have
first,
huh?
They were the first. Golden Knights were the first.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Raiders,
I know. And now you're going to have the A's.
I know. I'm just saying, it's like Vegas is a very small market, like sports wise. For them to have that, I mean, you have how many arenas are empty? You look at Arizona. Now, prior to this season when they were playing the college arena, look how dedicated their fan base is, and in Phoenix, the Phoenix area has like 3 times the amount of what Vegas's metro area does in their sports market.
Another thing, Vegas has been incredibly successful in their 6 years of existence.
Yeah.
If you go back to, I think it was 2012 when Arizona, I think they were Phoenix at the time, but when the Coyotes made that run to the conference finals, that building was filled.
Yeah,
so
that helps.
Yeah, it helps to be good. So
yeah,
that's all I got to say on it. Game 3 should be interesting. We'll see how Florida responds. But Vegas
is
unintended
plus,
holds all the cards right now.
Vegas is actually plus 105. Florida is minus 125. So Florida's the favorite for this game.
Which I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Yes.
Because, like I said, you don't want to lose on home ice. You're never in trouble until you lose on home ice. So Florida needs to win this game. If they don't, it's over. But if they win it and they make a 2-1 series, they have a shot. They're right back into it. They have that momentum back. But
another home game
looked not good in games 1 and 2. So there's talks about who do they start in game 3? Do you go Bobrovsky or do you go Alex Lyon? So I don't know. There's a lot of question marks on Florida side. Like I said, Vegas.
When did you say that is? Thursday?
Thursday at 8:00.
Okay. I was going to say Wednesday at 8:30 is the NBA game, game 3. Denver is the favorite at minus 110.
Yep.
So we just did the betting on both of them last time. My bet's not looking good, Jason.
No, it's not. No, it's
not right now.
No.
What'd you bet?
My bet was Miami and Florida to both win.
Hey, Miami's tied.
Miami's tied. Florida could potentially pull themselves back into it.
Yeah.
Come on,
all they got to do is win 2 home games, and then they're tied too.
Get the claws out. Do you see what I did there?
Stop it. No, I think the Panthers have a better shot of winning than the Heat. I think the fact that the Nuggets gave up any games of the sweep is shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like I mean the Nuggets are that good, and the Heat they've played well, but they're not that great of a team other than Jimmy Butler.
If we go back to the episode where we were talking about the NBA playoffs, and we all went around and gave our predictions who we said.
Yeah.
Your boy said Colorado.
You mean Denver?
I thought you said Boston.
Or Denver.
I know you like Boston, but
I did not say Boston. No.
That was definitely Mark.
Mark said it. I said Denver. So
yeah, I think I also said Boston as well.
I hate the
Celtics.
Yeah, but it's going to be interesting. We got Wednesday and Thursday games. It'll be interesting. Might take a hiatus for a week here, so Mr. Jason Cephas can enjoy some sand and some water.
Maybe we'll see. I'm bringing my equipment down just in case, but
Mr. Piazza will be in Ohio.
It's temptation. So, we should do it.
There is temptation for that, but you know what should be very tempting for you guys to do? Go follow us on Facebook, Instagram,
and Twitter.
That
was horrible.
Hey, it's been a while since I've tried to do a good transition, okay? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Deep Impact Podcast, YouTube, Deep Impact Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify for podcasters, which used to be Anchor, Deep Impact Podcast. Keep an eye out, but make sure you hit the bell.
Ba-ding!
All right, and we'll see you same time, same place in a couple weeks. Next week, this week, soon.
I love you.